Logan's POV. I was sitting in the interrogation room down in the cellar. Andrew was next to me, and we were waiting for Alpha Drake and his Beta Josh to arrive. I was nervous about what he had to tell me. I just hoped that, whatever it was, I would have a solution for it. The door opened, and Alpha Drake and Beta Josh walked in. They sat opposite us, and I walked over to lock the door. "Don't disturb us unless it is an emergency," I told the guard that was standing outside the door. "Knock 2 times if you need us." "Yes, Alpha," he said and nodded. I closed the door and locked it. I walked back to the table and sat down. "Okay, Alpha Drake," I said seriously. "I am listening." "Well, as you know, we managed to capture a rogue that attacked my pack." He started talking. "We got him to talk to us, and what he said made me really afraid." I gulped and looked at Andrew. If an alpha said he was afraid, he was considered weak, and we all avoided it. An alpha should be strong, dominating, and calm in dangerous situations. Drake admitting that he was afraid, especially in front of another alpha, was making me nervous. Whatever the reason behind the attacks was, it had to be bad when Drake was afraid and admitting it to me. I looked back at him and nodded. "Continue, please." "We all notice that rogues are attacking those packs that have young, unmated alphas," he said, looking right at me. "Your pack and mine are one of these packs." I nodded, and he continued. "Rogue King believes that one of us has a true mate that is very powerful," he continued. "Dark Witch told him that there will be a she-wolf mated to an alpha, and they will be the most powerful mated couple. She will make his pack strong, and together they will create a new line of stronger, more powerful wolves." "Does she have magic?" I asked, confused. "No," he said and shook his head. "She will be the most charismatic leader ever. People will love her, as they have never loved a Luna before. All the traits that a Luna has are more dominant in that she-wolf than any other. She cares more, understands more, and is willing to give herself for her pack more than any other Luna. Her power will come from the love her people will have for her. She is a true Luna." I gulped and looked at Andrew. He was staring at Drake, not breathing. "What is his plan?" I asked, and looked back at Drake. "He wants that she-wolf," he answered. "His plan is to take her and make her his Luna. He wants to mate with her and produce descendants who will be more powerful, and he thinks he will be able to take over our packs." I was shaking and I couldn't breathe. What if that she-wolf was Emma? Could she be strong and powerful? I never felt any power coming from her. I didn't believe that she was strong. That was the main reason I rejected her and chose Sienna to be my Luna. "Neither you nor I have found our true mates," Drake continued. "But it makes me terrified that she is in danger, whoever she is. I don't even know her yet, and it makes my blood boil that maybe my mate is the one, and that fucker wants her for himself. I don't even know what I would do if I knew who she was. I would probably try to lock her inside my body where I know she would be safe." My hands were shaking, and I couldn't even look up at Drake. I could feel how tense Andrew was. If there was any chance that this was about Emma, he would rip everyone apart. He already hated rogues so much. I completely agreed with Drake. I wanted to leave this room and find Emma. I needed her safe before I lost my mind. "Do they know anything about that she-wolf?" Andrew asked, his voice trembling. "How will the Rogue King know that she is the one?" Drake nodded. "The rogue we captured said that they were instructed to search for a pure white wolf." Andrew stood up, growling so loud that we had to cover our ears. He grabbed the chair he was sitting on and threw it into a wall. I looked up at him, shocked. What the hell was going on? His reaction could only mean one thing. No. Hell no. He was growling, pulling his hair, and hitting every surface his fists could reach. It was only a matter of time before he started hitting us. Drake, Josh, and I stood up and grabbed Andrew. Drake was standing behind him, wrapping his hands around his chest. Andrew's eyes were pitch black, and his canines were on display. "Andrew, calm down," I tell him. "What's going on?" Please tell me that I was wrong. He was breathing heavily and still growling. Josh picked up the chair Andrew threw and placed it back. Drake forced him to sit down, placing his hands on Andrew's shoulders, keeping him seated. "Andrew," I called him. "Tell me." "It is Emma," he growled. "She is a pure white wolf." My world stopped spinning. "No, not her. Please, goddess, not her. If anything happened to her—" "But how?" Beta Josh asked, confused. "She is not your mate. You told us yesterday that you chose a mate because you couldn't find your true one." Before I could answer him, 2 knocks on the door interrupted us. "Alpha, I am sorry. It is an emergency," my guard said. I growled and walked to the door, unlocking it. "What?" I asked, annoyed. "Alpha, your friend Sienna just got attacked," he said. I gasped and turned around to look at Andrew. He got up and walked over to us. "What?" he growled. "I don't know any details, Alpha and Beta," the guard said. "She tried to mind-link both of you, but as you were in here, she couldn't. She mind-linked Luna and told her what had happened. Luna went to help her. They are in the pack house now." I turned to look at Drake and Josh. "We will continue this later," I said. They both nodded. "Go take care of your Luna," Drake said. Andrew and I walked away quickly. Logan's POV. I walked inside the living room and saw Sienna sitting on the couch. My mom was sitting on the sofa with a frown on her face. "What the hell happened?" I growled and sat beside Sienna. I took her face in my hands and saw that she had a huge wound on her head. It had started healing slowly, but it was still bleeding. Andrew sat on the other sofa and looked worriedly at Sienna. "Who did this?" Andrew asked her. Sienna sobbed quietly. "I am sorry, Andrew." "Why are you sorry, Sienna?" he asked. "What happened?" "It was Emma," she said quietly, looking down at her hands. I froze. "What? Emma did this? Why?" Andrew growled loudly. "What? Why would she do that?" I looked at my mom, and she was frowning at Sienna. Why was she looking at her like that? "I went over to your house to try and talk to her," Sienna started talking. "She was leaving to go somewhere, and she got terribly mad when she saw me. She yelled at me that I had taken Logan away from her. I tried talking to her, letting her know it wasn't my intention to do that, but she refused to listen. She insulted me a couple of times, and I got angry as well. I told her she shouldn't talk to her future Luna like that. She lost it then. She hit me and said she would rather be a rogue than have me as her Luna." Both Andrew and I looked at her with shocked expressions on our faces. Emma wasn't a violent person. I couldn't believe that she would do that. My mom growled quietly, her gaze fixed on Sienna. "Where is she?" Andrew growled. "She ran away into the woods, Andrew," Sienna said, sobbing. "I think she crossed the border. I think she is a rogue now." I gasped loudly. "No." Andrew was frozen. He was staring at Sienna, and I didn't think that he was breathing. "She wouldn't do that," I said. "She wouldn't become a rogue. She knows what that would do to Andrew. We have to find her. She couldn't have crossed the border." I rambled on. I didn't think anybody was listening to me. "She is missing?" a voice interrupted me. I turned around and saw Drake and Josh standing behind us. They were furious. "She is not missing," Sienna said angrily. "She attacked me, her future Luna, and ran away to become a rogue." Andrew growled loudly and stood up. He started pacing the room and pulling his hair. "That doesn't sound like Emma," Drake said. "You met her yesterday," Sienna said, annoyed. "You don't even know her." "Maybe I don't," he growled at her. "But I am a great judge of character, and Emma is good and kind, and she would never attack you. I don't believe a word you are saying." I stood up and growled back at Drake. "Be careful. Do not speak to my future Luna like that." "All due respect, Alpha Drake. But Emma is not as kind as you think she is," Sienna said quietly. "She recently insulted me. Ask Andrew and Logan. They heard it. She was right. Emma did yell at Sienna." "I wonder what you said to her to deserve it," Drake spat back at her. I growled at him but was interrupted when Lewis walked through the door. "Beta Andrew, you called for me," he said. "Yes, Lewis," Andrew said quickly. "I need you to take every man in our pack and search the entire forest for my sister." "Emma?" he asked, surprised. "What happened to her?" "We will explain later," I said. "I need you to go now. I need you to find her and bring her back. Go outside the territory as well." He paled slightly. He understood immediately that she might be a rogue now. Going outside the pack's territory without a valid reason, and Alpha's approval meant that you chose to be a rogue. He nodded and quickly left the house. Drake growled and turned to his beta. "Get our warriors. We are going after her." Josh nodded and went outside. I could see his eyes clouding. He was using a mind link to talk to his warriors. Drake turned to me. "She is your mate, isn't she? Your true mate." I nodded, and he frowned at me. "You rejected her?" I nodded again. I couldn't even speak now. My heart was clenching painfully. I couldn't even reach Leon. I didn't want to look at my mom. I could feel her eyes digging a hole in my head. She was furious. "Why?" he growled. "Because she is a weak wolf," Sienna answered for me. "Logan knew she wouldn't be a good, strong Luna, and he chose me instead." Drake's eyes widened in shock. "Is she serious?" "Yes," I finally spoke. "I thought she wouldn't be a strong Luna. I had to think about my pack, and I decided to reject her." Drake turned to Andrew. His face was a mixture of shock and anger. "And you let it happen?" Andrew stayed quiet, but I could see his pain. I didn't think that I had ever seen him this distraught. He was clenching his fists, shaking and breathing heavily. If something happened to her, I didn't know how he would react. I didn't know how I would react. I couldn't live without her. She was my world. I needed her here. When Andrew didn't respond, Drake chuckled darkly. "You two are incredible. I met her yesterday, and I saw what she is better than you both ever did. You had the purest, kindest soul right in front of you, and you both took her for granted. I just hope she is okay." He stormed out and slammed the door shut. What he said hit me hard. Andrew as well. I could see a tear falling down his cheek. "I am sorry she ran away, Logan," Sienna said, looking up at me sadly. "But should we really look for her? She decided to become a rogue." Andrew growled. "We will find her. She is not and will not become a rogue. She is going to become a rogue over my dead body. We will find her, and she will be punished for attacking you. But I will not let her make herself a rogue. That is not the punishment I want for her." "You should go home, Sienna," my mom said coldly. "Go get some rest. You really need it." "Thank you, Luna Gloria." Sienna smiled at my mom. "Logan, will you assign a guard for me, in case Emma comes back?" My mom growled and frowned at Sienna. I looked at her, confused. What was wrong with her? Why was she growling and frowning at Sienna? "Of course, Sienna," I said. "But you don't have to worry. Emma will not hurt you again." She smiled and gave me a kiss on the cheek. She walked over to Andrew and gave him a hug before leaving the pack house.
Andrew's POV. It had been a few hours since we started our search for her. We found nothing, not a damn thing. It was going to get dark soon, and it was cold outside, and I didn't want her to be out here all alone. I was going crazy. Asher was whining and growling, and he couldn't calm down. His sister, his little pup, was missing. I couldn't control him or talk to him. He couldn't manage to form a meaningful sentence. I kept wondering about Sienna. Everything Emma ever said about her was coming back to me. Was Emma telling the truth? Was Sienna lying about what happened today? I hoped not. Because that would mean I let her bully my sister for years, and I never realized it, never believed her. That would make me a terrible brother, and I didn't know how I would live with myself if that were true. Logan couldn't sense her wolf, but he knew that she was alive. That was the only thing that was keeping me sane. I didn't know why Leon couldn't sense Eliza, maybe because of the distance. Their bond wasn't complete, and the distance was making it hard for Leon to find Eliza. Distance shouldn't matter, but it was the only thing that made sense. Logan and I were walking next to each other. We couldn't shift into our wolves because we feared that we wouldn't be able to control them right now. They were both hurt and aggressive, a deadly combination. I felt like I could kill somebody just by looking at them right now. Asher could do so much more. It was better if I had control. "Beta Andrew?" I heard a voice in my head. It was the guard that stayed at the pack house. "Yes, Mark?" I linked him back. "Amy Johnson is here looking for you. She says it is urgent, and she needs to talk to you right now," he said. "Does she know something about Emma?" I asked, my heart rate picking up. They were best friends. Emma could have told her something. Amy might know where she was. I couldn't believe that we hadn't talked to her or Jacob already. We totally forgot about that. All I wanted to do was run to the forest and follow her scent. When we searched the house, we found Emma's phone and all the important stuff. She didn't take any money or her credit card with her. She ran away with the clothes she had on her. She didn't even have a jacket. I knew because I counted all her jackets. She was out here somewhere and she was cold. She says yes, Beta, Mark answered. I grabbed Logan's arm, startling him. Mark linked me, I said excitedly. Emma's friend Amy is at the pack house. She wants to talk to me. She knows something about Emma. His eyes widened, and we both started running back to the pack house. It felt like we had been running for hours, but it had only been about 15 minutes. We weren't that far out in the woods. We both ran inside. Amy was sitting on a couch talking to Aunt Gloria. They looked up at us, and I saw sadness in their eyes. "Sit down, boys," Aunt Gloria said quietly. Logan and I exchanged looks and did as she said. I was shaking, and I could see Logan clenching his fists. "What do you know, Amy?" Logan asked. "Where is Emma?" "I don't know where she is," she said quietly, "but I do know who took her." Logan and I looked at each other, confused. "She wasn't taken, Amy," I said. "She ran away." Amy shook her head. "No, she would never do that. She would never do that to you, Andrew. Even if she had hit Sienna, she would have stayed and taken her punishment. But she didn't hit her, and she didn't run away." "Did the Rogue King find out about her? Did he take her?" I looked at Logan, and I knew he was thinking the same thing. "It was Sienna," Amy said after neither Logan nor I spoke. I narrowed my eyes at her. Logan growled. "Be careful, Amy," Logan said. "You are accusing a future Luna." "I know, Alpha," she said calmly, "and I still stand by what I said. Sienna is a terrible person. She has been bullying Emma for a very long time now. It started with insults and hurtful words. But after she found out that Emma was Alpha Logan's mate, she took it to another level." I started shaking. Asher was growling. My heart was beating a mile a minute. "What do you mean, Amy?" Logan asked, his voice trembling. "Do you remember that day when we were at the diner and you walked in and Emma was covered in bruises and scrapes? Those were from a training session, but she also had a big bruise on her hand. Do you remember that?" she asked. Logan and I both nodded. "She didn't get that at the session," Amy said. "Sienna slapped her that day, and when Emma fell down, Sienna stepped on her hand with her heel." Logan and I started growling so loud that Amy and Aunt Gloria had to cover their ears. I saw red. I would kill Sienna. "That is not all," Amy said. We focused back on her, but we continued to growl quietly. "What else did that bitch do to Emma? She threatened to kill her if she didn't back away from Alpha Logan," Amy said, tears falling down her face. "The day after she broke her ribs, Sienna came to her room and attacked her. She lied to you. She didn't walk into her desk. Sienna grabbed her left side, breaking her ribs all over again. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. She tried to tell me, and I didn't believe her. If Sienna really did something to her, it was completely my fault." "Alpha Logan, Beta Andrew, please don't believe Sienna," Amy said, sobbing. "She has done something to her, and if we don't find her, she will kill her. I know it."